So a couple of years ago, right, in the city that I live in, there was this lady, right, who had a high school student. I think her son was maybe a freshman, and she had moved to the city, and she was trying to find someone to enroll her son, right? And so the school that she chose had a mascot that was a demon. It was like a little dude with a big head with the horns and red. Their mascot was the demon. And by her being or coming from a religious background or whatever, she really took issue with this to the point to where she started writing anyone who would listen, city council and things of that nature, because she wanted the school to change the mascot. And she was threatening, well, if you don't change the mascot, I'm not gonna enroll my son. And the average person, now mind you, this school has been around for hundreds. I mean, I know that school is probably at least 100 plus years old. It's just it's a school, it's a mascot. But this one woman, just because the mascot offended her, she actually thought the school was going to accept her uh way of thinking. And we can change the mascot. Not a petition, not a groundswell of support, just one woman. But this one woman was so delusional and devoid of reality that she actually thought that, yo, I can get this accomplished because this is my fight and they should do what I want them to do. And of course, the school didn't. Because I mean, again, if you don't want to enroll your child, who cares? And I think it speaks to like a bigger issue in today's time where people are becoming more and more delusional in actually thinking like, yo, we don't care about how you feel. That's the way this thing works. Like, ultimately, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? People begin thinking that their opinions and things of that nature take precedent in other people's lives. Every single person on the planet has an opinion. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion. But yo, we don't have to rock with it. We don't have to go along with it. But I think the more time you spend on social media and you see how the think tanks come together and things of that nature, and everybody just starts to have this inflated idea of how important your opinion is. It's just your opinion. And there's nothing wrong with having it. But you got to learn how to deal with the reality that for the most part probably don't nobody care. That's just how the game goes. But I see so much delusion, and it's wild to me to think that these people are out here in society really just being offended by the grass is green, I'm offended. The sky is blue, I'm offended. And I don't know how we got. And that's the thing though, I will say that because I had to catch myself. I don't think as a nation we've become overly sensitive. I think the people on social media and the media machine as a whole have become more sensitive. But I think the masses are still grounded in like reality. I really don't think that just everyday average Americans are out here just being offended by everything. Again, you wouldn't get that if you were online and you see a lot of the nonsense they talk about, but I have to contrast what I see on the internet and what I see in real life. And when I'm out here in real life, I just don't get a lot of this nonsense and rhetoric that I oftentimes hear online or whatever. In fact, there are a lot of topics and hit pieces and conversations and points and things of that nature that I hear online. I only hear online. I don't hear any of this in the real world. So you just have to be mindful of that fact that, yeah, sometimes this is just engagement. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But more so than ever, I see how people just don't know how to communicate and talk to one another. It's just like if you have two people with an opposing opinion, they can't just agree to disagree and move on. I see a lot of name calling, I see a lot of tough talk, I see a lot of this and a lot of that. And it's just, to me, that's devoid of reality, because the same way that I converse and I talk to people online is the same way I do in real life. There's no delineage, there's no difference in my personality. But I think there are so many people that just create personalities online, and it's just like they're devoid of just the simplicity of respect and understanding how to communicate. And it's okay to agree to disagree. We don't have to all think the exact same thing. I mean, I don't think any one person is just one thing. I don't, if you're a Republican, I don't think that you are just conservative on every single thing. So, I mean, I'm conservative on some ideas, I'm liberal on others. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, no one person is just one thing. We are just a mishmash and just a collective of different variables. And people have to stop putting everyone in boxes and understand that, look, at the end of the day, we're not all gonna agree on everything. That's not even normal. It's cool to disagree. Now, what you can't do is just get out of pocket and start being disrespectful. And that's what I see so much online, bro. It's just the level of disrespect is just so over the top. And by it being so over the top, that's how I understand it's not authentic or genuine. That's just someone acting out. That's just their internet personality or whatever. Because again, in real life, yo, you wouldn't survive talking to people that way, especially around my way. So we just have to get back to a place of decency. You know what I'm saying? And just understanding that we don't all have to get along, and the world does not move to your whim. Just like the lady that I started this conversation with, she actually thought because she alone was offended, this school was going to change their mascot. And the school is probably looking like, who are you? Like, literally, who are you? You know, like, yo, you and your child can go somewhere else. But she had such a high level of delusion that she really thought that, yo, I can make this happen. And then of course she found out the hard way. But I mean, I've seen other instances. Like, I live where there's a military base. And when you are leaving the base, they always say, well, have a blessed day. Well, apparently that offended someone. And so a memo went out, and I mean, it literally happened. A memo went out, and it was stating that, you can no longer say, well, have a blessed day because you may offend, yada, yada. And I think it lasts for maybe a week. But my thing is, even if you are an atheist, someone telling you to have a blessed day is essentially just saying, yo, have a good day. Like, how are you not able to discern that to the point where you had to make noise about something that was so minute? Just so minute. But there are a lot of people around here walking around with just time on their hands and ready to make noise about any little thing. And I think media and social media and these platforms, a lot of times they empower delusional people into thinking that your cause is just, when a lot of times your cause is just nonsense, but you got time on your hands, and so you're gonna run with it and see what you can do. And I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's a lot going on. I don't understand it. I try to stay as far away from it as possible. Every once in a while, I mean, you get engaged, and so, but I've always been a very consistent person. And so I know how to get in and out of situations. You don't have to be ugly with someone. You don't have to get loud with someone. You don't have to do any of that to like check somebody. You can do it in a manner to where you're still respectful, and this, that, and the third. Now, if the situation call for it to go to another level, then you take it to another level. But I mean, I'm just talking about just in terms of everyday discourse. We got to get back just to find some sense of just common decency. You know what I'm saying? Because yo, there's a lot of people out here going through it. Like we're all going through it in one way or the other. And that's why I'm always consistent with people. That's why I'm never out of pocket when I approach someone, because I don't know what I can say that may push that person over the edge. I don't know what that person is going through. You never know what someone's going through. I know when I was going through, when I was in my dark days and my dark moments and things of that nature, if you did happen to see me out in public, you would never know anything was going on with me. You would never know, because I was able to compartmentalize and separate the pain and the depression and things of that nature, because I had a single task. I needed to go to the store and get this, and then I'm back into my hole. And so that's the thing about it. You don't know what people are going through these days. So you always have to be mindful to just, approach people the right way, not to get out of pocket and things of that nature. I mean, because I've literally had conversations. I had a conversation with a guy. This was a couple of years ago, and we worked together. He would talk to me about the national fair was in town, and he and his daughter, they would go to the fair every year. That was like their bonding thing. That's what they did, right? This was the conversation that I had with this guy. This was on a Thursday. I come back to work Saturday. Whole vibe changed. Everybody like, you feel like it's some electricity in the air going on. And so I'm like, yo, what happened? Told me my man self-checked out. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? I had no clue. I had worked with this dude for like years. Had no idea what he was going through. I had another homeboy I used to play ball with. This happened 2 years ago. I mean, murder suicide. Never saw it coming. You never know what people are going through out here. That's why you have to be mindful and respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to get out of pocket with every little thing. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you never know what your words may be that catalyst to push them over the edge, for them to do something that they can't come back from. And so again, but because I've dealt with these type of things, and I've had that life experience, and I've had to hide my pain and everything that I'm going through in order to function in society, I understand that there are a lot of other people in the same boat and in the same shoes. And so that's why I approach everyone the correct way. And I think that we're losing that. Like we're really losing that. You know what I'm saying? Just, it's rough out here, and people are going through it daily. I mean, the economy with it being what it is, inflation and things of that nature, yo, you have to be mindful of how you speak to people. You have to understand you are not the center of the universe. You understand? And so, but at the end of the day, man, I know I was kind of all over the place, but at the end of the day, man, yo, we really have to get to a better place as people, you know, because we're going through it out here. You may be going through it and think your situation is just this, that, and the third, but there's always someone else who's going through something a lot worse. So that's why you have to be thankful for like the small things, thankful for what you have, and look forward to what the future has to bring. Yo, that wasn't always me. You know what I'm saying? I can get into like my story. Yo, I wasn't even looking past 26. Just never even dawned on me that, yo, I might make it past 26. I ain't care. Like by the time I hit 25, I was tired. I was burnt out. I'm saying, like, man, yo, I'm good. I don't did everything I want to do. I don't seen everything. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? But again, I had to overcome. I had to overcome. And when you've gone through some things, when you've been through some things, when you've seen some things, you have a better understanding once you come out the other side of it. And you grow. And you learn how to deal with people the correct way. If you gotta check somebody, check them. But again, I just see people being rude just for being just to be rude. Like, because this is not a TV show. This is not a TV show. People out here are checking out and checking others out for nothing. That's what we are now. Life is cheap. You understand what I'm saying? So yo, be mindful. You know what I'm saying? It don't hurt to nod, smile at somebody, man. Yo, that could be the one. That could be the best thing that happened to them that day. You know what I mean? So keep your head. Understand that you're not the center of the world, and we'll all be better for it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So until the next one.